world. I've got ourselves a nice little spicy homebrew once again today. This one is called Hurkyl Artifacts, and it's based around this card. So I put around with it for a couple hours this morning, really trying to get it to jive in a deck. I tried Azorius, and then I tried like 3 iterations of it. I tried to get Azorius Artifacts going, then I tried Azorius Enchantments, and finally I landed on the Mire Artifacts list. So if you don't know, Hurkyl, she puts a card into your hand at the beginning of your end step as long as you cast a non-creature spell of that type. So the idea is it's full of non-creature artifacts, and then also instances. Don't run any sorceries, and I don't run any enchantments. That way, Hurkyl is more likely to hit either an instant or a sorcery, and potentially both at the beginning of your end step. So, otherwise, what we have for nice little synergies is we're running the Arcane Proxy, which I haven't seen in any decks yet, and I think it's really cool. I think it's a good card. 2 copies of Siphon Insight for a little bit of extra value. Of course, the Bankbuster package, because the card is just great. Then the win condition is to just kind of stabilize the life total early, because there's so much soldiers in mono red going around. And for that, we have these Leech Gauntlets that are just 2/2 artifact creatures. But what's important to remember about Hurkyl is, for each card type among non-creature spells you cast this turn, you may put a card that's a type revealed into your hand. So if I cast a non-creature artifact and it triggers Hurkyl, then I can reveal an artifact creature as long as it shares the artifact type, right? So that's why we've got some artifact creatures in here, including the Thran Spider and all the Fleshgorgers and the Arcane Proxy. Pretty much guarantees that whenever we trigger the Hurkyl with either a Bankbuster or a Mightstone or Celestus, then we should hit an artifact creature. And then once we stabilize our life total and don't get ran over by whichever aggro deck we're playing, we just outvalue them with a little bit of card draw and creatures with lifelink. You know, eventually we cast these for their big versions, and then they're disgusting. One interaction I don't love is that you can't cast Arcane Proxy for 7 and then copy Memory Deluge, because then you cast Memory Deluge for 0, and as you might know, look at the top X cards where X is the amount of mana spent, so you look at 0 cards and put 0 of them into your hand. So one interaction that's unfortunate, that just does not work. But other than that, the deck jives pretty well. I've playtested a fair amount, but not yet into ranked, so let's hop right in and try to get some wins. Alright, game 1. Let me see a nice hand. Oh, you go first. Removal spells, 3 lands, card draw. What more could you ask for? Play the swamp. I'll leave it up. Cut down. Let's see, what are we against? Soldiers would be good. We have a good hand to deal with soldiers right now. Ooh. Looks like soldiers. Smells like soldiers. I think I will cut it down since I have a 2-mana removal spell next turn. And we draw probably a land. I'm a psychic. Let's go ahead and show opponent the blue. No problem. Might want double blue for the Arcane Proxy. Okay. Well, there's no need to play the Arcane Proxy if there's nothing to hit. So if opponent flashes in the Resolute Reinforcements or something, that's fine. They're just 1/1s. Very unlikely or unusual of soldiers to not have a turn 2 play. But there's a beautiful target for Infernal Grasp. And we hit another land here. Any reason to discard this? Mill 3 cards, return a creature or planeswalker? I don't think so. Well, with opponent passing, I think we just Mightstone here. Obviously, we want to have Murkyl out whenever we Mightstone. If we cast Murkyl, we don't have any mana. We don't have anything to do with the extra 2 mana. We want to be mana efficient. But we're not really under any pressure by opponent. The fact that opponent hasn't put any pressure on us means maybe we should take the slow play. The less mana efficient play. Let's do it. Let's put down the Hurkyl. And then maybe opponent will have like Brutal Cathar or something, and we'll Mightstone it. Hurkyl, a pretty good blocker, 2/4. Opponent can't hit lay down arms on it. It's got 3 non-planes. Curious to see what he's got, but overall I feel pretty good here. Okay, a 3. Thalia. Raven. So you gotta remember that whenever you cast things for free with Arcane Proxy, it says without paying its cost, you still have to pay the 1 tax from the Thalia. So that matters. And then a Harbin. Okay, so there's opponent's win condition right there in the Harbin. I think I'll double spell. I'll go Arcane Proxy. Oh, I gotta pay 1, right. So if I do 3 mana for Arcane Proxy, then cut down the Harbin. I gotta pay the 1 tax, and then I've only got 2 mana left. So that's not super efficient. So let's go land and just pay 6 to -5/-5 the Harbin. Then if opponent plays another Harbin, he's gonna have 11 damage in the air, which we might be able to stabilize from as well. So let's do it. Meekstone, -5 on that. No attacks, leaving up our blocker, and we get to put a Gauntlet into our hand. Perfect. We want lifelink at this point. It's crazy, eh? Azorius Flyer is one of the only decks that you could be on 18 life and start having to do the math in case they play a Harbin to kill you. Crazy, man. Everything flies and gets +1. Such a good card. Okay, so opponent plays his Mire. So that is definitely the mega incentive for the Arcane Proxy here. Okay, if I do this for 3, then I could pay the tax from the Thalia with this. No, I can't. But hang on, I think this is fine. 3, pay the tax for 1, and then I have 3 more for the Fleshgorger, or even 2 for Go for Throat. Alright, let's just start like this. Before we count too much here, we'll pay 3 for the Arcane Proxy, casting the Infernal Grasp from the graveyard for free to get rid of course, the Mire. And then, yeah, I see. If I had Kill in the Thalia, I could cast Go for Throat on the Thalia as well, but I don't think there's a need. I think we're okay here. We're pretty happy to just get to double spell the Arcane Proxy and the Fleshgorger. Then we get to put an instant into our hand because we cast an instant from the graveyard. Even though we didn't pay its mana cost, well, we paid the tax, the 1 mana tax, we still get the trigger. And I pretty sure it's obvious that we want the Memory Deluge here. Siphon Insight, yeah, it's good, but we're not looking to put creatures from opponent's deck into play. We're looking to continue stabilizing the board. And he takes away the Hurkyl. Makes sense, Hurkyl's getting a lot of value. We're going to go for Throat that on our own turn, and then when Hurkyl comes back, we're still going to get the value from it. Maybe we should go for Throat the Thalia. No, I don't think so. We'll go for Throat the Cathar. Still paying the tax here. Then, opponent scoops him up. But we had 3 mana left over for the Battlethopter. It was a good game, man. Hey, the deck did its thing. First time. Yay. Alright, cool. Well, obviously we keep going. Not a bad game. Well, I'm kind of happy with that result. I gotta say, I really love the interaction between Hurkyl and Arcane Proxy. That cast the thing for free from your graveyard. And you still get the Hurkyl trigger. This is a good hand, right? Yeah. I don't think we're at much risk of getting ran over with the cut down, so we'll keep it. Let's go tap land, see what opponent does. Be anything? Just leaves me nothing nowadays. A swamp. Also doesn't tell us too much. Start with the Bankbuster. Next turn we could leave up cut down and draw a card from the Bankbuster. So, all in all, a good start. Boundary. Okay, that makes me think it's mono black aggro. Maybe I should cut that down right now. Thing does grow at instant speed, and if he has 1 mana up, I can't cut it down. So let's just do that. You know, opponent can play very cautiously, right? They can, like, attack first before casting anything. Potentially pump it once, but leaving mana up to do other stuff, and then in response to my cut down, pump it again. So it's a bit safer to just cut it down right away if I really want to protect my life total. You could also be patient there and try to cut it down in response to opponent pumping it. But like I said, a lot can go wrong with that situation. So we hit an Infernal Grasp and then a Gorger. With 4 mana up, I think I'm looking at drawing with Bankbuster and then maybe Siphon Insight or maybe Infernal Grasp if he plays something better than the underdog. I don't mind taking 3 from the underdog this turn. If he plays a Shielded or something, we'll definitely kill that. But now, I don't play counter magic because I think it's a frustrating mechanic in the game. So even my Dimir decks don't have any counter magic. But opponent doesn't know that, so he sees, you know, 4 lands with 3 blue mana, and he might play extra cautiously. Like he played the Sleeper first to be able to pay for Make Disappear. You don't need counter magic if opponent thinks you have it. Alright, oh, I get to play one of these from his deck? I don't have any of these crafted. Never really played this card. It's enticing. I don't think it's as good as the Fleshgorger, though, since lifelink is going to matter against mono black aggro. We draw another Leech Gauntlet. I think we'll go tap land. Play 1 Leech Gauntlet. It's an artifact creature, so it will dodge. It'll dodge, what is it called? Overthrow? Now, do I leave the last 2 mana to draw with Bankbuster, or do I play the second Gauntlet? I think I leave it. The thing with the second Leech Gauntlet is then I could crew the Bankbuster with the 2 gauntlets and eat one of the underdogs when it attacks. But like this should be fine too. I like that I also have the option to Infernal Grasp his Shielded or whatever else. So let's block one of those. Protect the life total. Opponent decides to grow the Sleeper once. If he grows it twice, do I just Infernal Grasp that? Incentivizing, honestly. Protect myself from 3 damage, and opponent loses a good creature he's pumped a bunch of mana into. Yeah, we lose 2 from the Infernal Grasp, so it really only blocks 1. Well, I think it's good. I think we care about board state more than card advantage right now. We're already ahead and going to continue to get ahead with card advantage. Important to realize these things now. All of a sudden, it could be too late. If I take an extra couple damage there and opponent's board state gets too out of hand. So here, I'm going to draw right now and try to get my land drop for turn. We don't hit the land drop, which is fine. But we'll play the Fleshgorger from exile. Pass the turn. And mono black aggro is thinking, uh-oh, I don't know if I was aggressive enough. Now we have Arcane Proxy that we could cast. We could do Siphon Grasp for free, or Siphon Insight, or Infernal Grasp. Cut down is also an option. So 3 mana, put a body in play and kill a thing. Then we have 3 more mana. We could just play Arcane Proxy and Fleshgorger next turn. You know, 6 mana. It's a pretty strong turn. With the Fleshgorger that comes in, we could crew the Bankbuster and mount the counterattack. 2 3/3 Menace Lifelinkers in play. Very powerful stuff. So opponent decides to march on the pilot. I don't think he needed to gain life there. But he attacks. That's okay. We'll take the 3. Not going to trade our awesome lifelinker for that. And what else does he have? Bankbuster of his own that he cannot crew. Good, good, good. Let's stick to the plan then. I like this. We'll go Arcane Proxy for 3. We'll cast the Cut Down on the underdog. We'll cast our other Gorger. Nice. Good deck. Good deck. Crew up. Attack for 7. Gaining 3. Back to 14. And all of a sudden, opponent's really thinking, oh, what the hell just happened? What a turn, what a turn. Last turn, he's thinking, no problem, I'll play my own Bankbuster, start drawing cards. Alright, well, we have Go for Throat for that on our upkeep, so we won't take any damage. And if opponent decides to attack, that's even better. Doesn't even matter if he crews with Shieldred in response, because these guys got Menace. Hell yeah, shout out to Menace. Nice, nice, nice. This deck is cool, man. Oh, another little spicy homebrew that's working out. I like it. You guys would be surprised. Like, I film a lot of these like videos for a couple games, and then I'm like, this deck just it's just not good enough to post, you know, so I just delete the whole video, scrap it. But hey, I'm happy to have found one that works, so nice. Alright. Update. Just lost 2 games in a row. Lost to Azorius Control when they board wiped Farewell like twice, and then they had Counters Magic, and it was like a 20-minute game. It was awful. So I cut that from the video because it was, you know, just too long and not very much action going on. And then we lost to Mono Red when they were on the play. And we couldn't draw anything but land, so not very good content. This one, however, looks a lot better. So hopefully we get a good game in this time. We'll keep this. We'll start with a slow land, having mana for cut down. I think I'd rather it be soldiers than mid-range, but either way we might be okay. And is pretty good. An underdog, okay. We'll play the Leech Gauntlet here. I want to hold the cut down for once Hurkyl is in play. Try to get some immediate value out of her. Let's trade. Very good. I'm gonna play the Bankbuster now. I mean, I guess the Bankbuster is also a card that we want to have Hurkyl down for. So we'll play the Leech Gauntlet. We have mana up for cut down, but we're not going to cast it. We want to cast cut down as soon as we play Hurkyl to get our value. Our value, our trigger, our whatever you want to call it. Our insert preferred word here. So this time we don't block because we want to make sure we have the target for cut down. Last time I knew I had 2 turns for opponent to play something small, and seeing an underdog on turn 2, it makes it seem like pretty likely. Let's go to combat and attack. Hopefully opponent plays a Wandering Emperor so we know what the 4 mana is for. Nice. We don't have to be afraid of getting countered. We'll exile that. We'll play our Hurkyl. Cut down the underdog. And let's find a nice instant. Show me something good. Siphon Insight. We'll take it. It's not good, but it's a hit. Land off the top. That would be perfect. Okay, land, but it is a tapped land. So we'll go Raffine, Bankbuster. Pass the turn, we'll get our Hurkyl trigger, and we have 2 mana to draw with Bankbuster. Fleshgorger or Mightstone? Mightstone kills Dawn right now, but we already have one in hand. I think it's time for a creature. Grab this Fleshgorger. I love Hurkyl doing her thing, just because I built the deck around her, so it's like, when it does her thing specifically, it's better than any other thing. I think I'll Siphon Insight on opponent instead of Bankbuster here. Gotta try and find some removal. And looking at 2 cards, probably have a better chance of hitting it. And we miss. I think I'll take the land. Or I could play the Raffine. I mean, it is a blocker, right? No, I'll play the land. I want to make sure I got my lands to play. So let's go Caves. Cut down on the scheme. The Scheming Seer, the Raffine. We're going to pay the 1 with that. Perfect. Then we've got 4 mana left. So we're going to Siphon Insight on our turn so that we get the Hurkyl trigger. And we're going to steal opponent's Raffine this time. That's good, because we know that this puts the other one on the bottom. Yeah, so 1 Raffine's on the bottom, 1's in the graveyard, 1's here. So only 1 more Raffine and opponent's 45 cards or 44 cards. And we'll just end turn. And hopefully reveal something. Perfect, go for throat. We had the 2 mana as insurance to use into the Bankbuster, but we really wanted to have something better to do with our mana. Like kill the Dawn's guy. Taking 8 is just too much damage. We go down at 3 already. A bit too early for that. Opponent, does he find his Shieldred? He finds his 4th copy of Raffine. Okay. He had all 4 copies in the top, like, 25 cards or so. Got to look at the top 7 there, so... Fair enough. That'll happen. So he'll +1 the Raffine. I think we'll just Mightstone kill that. Okay. Hurkyl dies. Sad to see her go. I could draw first. I'll draw first, and then if I have to go for throat, I'll do that. Alright, I have to go for throat. Just trying to hit our land drops. So at least we know for sure there won't be any more Raffines for a long while. His Raffine is somewhere around there. That's the last one in his deck. So he'll attack with 2, get a card draw from the announcement. And the Water Emperor's still ticking up. Not too troublesome though. we draw a land, we could play Fleshgorger for 7. But I don't even think that's the best play. I think we're probably better off going... I don't know. Oh, God. Hard. I think we'll play the Fleshgorger and the Raffine. And we don't get to draw a card off the Bankbuster this turn. But we don't need to. What we need right now is to stabilize our life total more than anything. If opponent does have removal for Fleshgorger, we could crew Bankbuster. But we should be almost at the point that we are stable. That's fine. Uses a removal spell on his own creature. What else, opponent? What else? +1 to the soldier and attacks. Opponent forgets about the Bankbuster. Yes, he does. Feels bad, feels bad. Taking advantage of opponent's misplay, but it is what it is. Just kidding. Opponent knew all along. Otawara. Meekstone, -5 this guy. Attack the Wandering Emperor for 3, gain 3, go to 7. 2 mana left, play the Bankbuster. What else do we have that's enticing? We go 3 mana for Celestus, then Weakstone on the Samurai. Is that better? No, we're gonna do it like that. The first way we said it. Do that. Oh, we could play it all. I forgot this thing taps for mana. I've never played with this card before this deck. So that's cool. Very cool. Now, do I actually want to attack? It just gets double blocked and dies, right? I guess I'll leave it back through the Bankbuster. I'm on 4 life, so definitely got to be conservative here. I do have the gas amongst these cards to get pretty deep into my library. As well as I could use the Celestus here. Take advantage of that mechanic and gain 1 life per turn, draw an extra card. One plays a Denic. And a Wedding Announcement. They'll probably attack with both. No. I assume if he was going to attack, he would have plussed the Emperor. Yeah. My turn. Alright, good. We got something to cast on opponent's turn. And we got a ton of mana here. 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's try to draw a land to play. We don't hit the land, but we hit a Gopher Throat, so we'll go end turn. Celestus will trigger, goes to Night. Draw. I think we'll discard the land. Okay. Opponent gets 5 lethal in the air. So after attacks, first thing I'll do is I'll put the Liberator into play. Gopher Throat will trigger the Liberator, and then if ever opponent had a counterspell for Gopher Throat, then I know that I have to block with the Liberator. So in order to be dead here, opponent would need a counterspell and a removal spell. So we're alive. Now, does opponent cast 2 things? That does count as a cast. If he casts 1 more, it goes to day. Opponent knows, opponent knows. Which is fine, because now we're incentivized to play 2 spells on our turn. And let's start with this one. First of all, grow the Battlethopter. Nice. Arcane Proxy. We have a land here. I think we have it. Yeah, we could cast it for 7 if we want. Oh, but there's... Yeah, that card's not good to cast for 7. It just does base removal spell anyways. I guess Hurkyl. Should it be Gopher Throat, honestly? I think Hurkyl's fine. We'll grab Hurkyl and an Arcane Proxy. And we'll go... Add 2 mana there. Arcane Proxy. We'll Gopher Throat. Get rid of the 3/3. And with this floating mana and 1, we'll draw from Bankbuster, or should we just play Hurkyl? I think we just play Hurkyl. Alright, opponent's board is getting pretty big here. Attack this thing. And the turn. We were looking for an instant. We didn't find one. Saw 3 artifacts instead. But it goes to day. Phyrexian Fleshgorger gets binned. It's okay, we used up our mana very efficiently. Got to do a lot of stuff. Gained a life. Opponent plays the Dawn Sky. Then a Ludovic. So we can make a copy of a card from his own graveyard, right? Okay. Long games, long games. Opponent's board is nuts. Gonna need something here. What do we got? We got 8 lands, then 2 mana for artifacts, and then another land. So basically 9 lands. It's currently day. So I'll just pass tonight and then try to get stuff off Deluge. I think I gotta cast stuff now and try to hit something off Merkle. So let's go Siphon Insight. Find a Shieldred, okay. That's some life gain. So Shieldred triggers the Battlethopter. Then I can make it go to night right now. And then if it goes to night, we'll draw a card. Then at our end step, no attacks. At our end step, it'll go to day because we cast 2 spells. And so we'll draw a second card, gain another life. Shielded will trigger twice. I think that'll put us just out of the lethal zone. Damn, we're crazy. Take action here. Draw. Discard the island. Trigger. End turn. Reveal an Infernal Grasp. That's good. Trigger. Celestus. Take action. Draw. Discard an island again. Gain another 2 life. We're at 12. We might not be dead. I think I'll take 7 in the air. Right? Because Liberator is going to keep on growing. No point chump blocking with a nice creature. Gives our other artifacts flash. Does some good stuff. Oof. Wow. Siphon Insight. Huge, hitting shielded off opponent's deck. Maybe I should be playing shieldeds in this deck. Not super tuned. Just a little homebrew. Just a little homebrew playing against top tier Esper Legends. Surviving. Surviving. God, these are long games. This game is 18 minutes so far. If you've been watching this entire game and you're stressing out with me, I appreciate your presence. Is opponent roping me or thinking? Probably thinking, right? Okay, so we get this X is for 4. So if he attacks with all, then the Dawn Star will get huge. Or the Dawn Sky. Dawn Star is such a good name. Where's that from? From anime or something for sure. So that became an 11/11. What? What? Does he have lethal on me? I'm gonna gain 3 life from the Fleshgorger, but if he attacks with everything, if he attacked with all 5 of the other guys, he could have made the Dawn Star connive 7 times. And then it would be a 15. Alright, whatever. We'll just block the biggest one here with the Battlethopter, so we don't die. Take 8. My turn. Opponent didn't cast any spells. Just used some activated abilities. Okay. Discard the Gauntlet because the Thran Spider has reach. Very relevant. Draw a second card per turn. Very relevant. Let's go Thran Spider. Infernal Grasp. Hang on, let's hold our horses on Infernal Grasp. Let's go Siphon Insight first. Find a Gopher Throat. Nice. So we'll do the Gopher Throat on the Scheming Seer. Oh man, we have so much mana, we get to do it all. I think we're stable. I think we're stable. And then with 2 mana left, we could hold up Gopher Throat and then potentially draw off of Bankbuster if we could afford to. And reveal a Memory Deluge for even extra gas. Oh, baby. End of turn goes to day. Trigger, trigger. Back to 12. Man, opponent hit us for 8 last time, put us back to 4, and we ended up gaining 8 life yet again. And we have a Infernal Grasp for that. Ooh, yeah. I'd way rather Infernal Grasp the Shielded than the Dawn Sky. Dawn Star, you know what that's from? It's from the Dota anime. That was a good anime. If anyone likes anime, I got 2 recommendations for you. The Dota anime and Cyberpunk. Both available on Netflix. Both excellent. So we chump block, then on his end step, we're gonna just kill their Shieldred, because we don't want to lose any life from drawing cards, only gain. Now it's day, so we're kind of incentivized to cast no spells, but we could double spell and just manually activate the Celestus. So let's go my turn. Draw land. Gain 2 life. Go ahead and Deluge. We have 2 untapped lands. Ah, opponent scoops it up. We were gonna do it, man. We were gonna do it. The Raffine cycles. We were gonna gain so much life. We stabilized. We beat a top tier 1 Esper Legends deck with our Hurkyl Merkle jank deck. Alright, well, I know I only played 5 games. That's gonna be it for the video because they're all quite very long. I think I even cut... Yeah, I cut 2 of the games I played because they were so long, but this being a 24-minute game, you know, I'm afraid that you guys might get bored and not enjoy it if it's too long. So for anyone that did make it this far, thank you so much again. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the nice presents that you guys have. So enjoy your day. Thanks for watching. Hey, so I'm kind of recording a secondary outro here where I just kind of wanted to take a quick moment and talk to anybody who made it to this point of the video and kind of have a bit of back and forth, see what you guys think, right? So I like playing homebrew decks the most, and so far the feedback that I've received has been, you know, to my understanding, that people like to see homebrew decks more than the top tier meta decks all the time. Now, the whole kind of concept for this series that I've been doing, the sprint to Mythic, I initially was like, okay, we're gonna play soldiers and mono red and the best top tier tuned decks off untapped.gg or off whatever website has the best win rates, and just abuse that deck to get to Mythic. But as I was sprinting to Mythic with those soldier decks, people started kind of leaving comments, oh, another soldier deck, or, you know, we've seen this. So I, you know, went back to my forte of homebrewing up my own spice, and people reciprocated with, you know, oh, hey, we actually appreciate this. This is great. Good job. Thank you. So that being said, I just want to make sure that everyone's good with the content I'm making. If you guys have deck lists of, you know, your own favorite decks that are jank, stuff that you built that work, you know, anything like that, feel free to send me deck lists, share them with me. Just even say your colors. Recently, I had one guy in the comments saying his favorite colors is Jeskai. So I'm going to put together a Jeskai deck shortly. And I'm happy to do that at this point in the content creation, you know. I'm by no means got a big platform. Don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I try to post 1 video a day, and if it gets 100 views, I'm happy, you know. Like, this is all very new to me, and I care about your feedback very much. So please feel free. Goodbye for a second time. Thanks for watching.